Monday morning, the time is now 5:43. I've been on the road for, I guess 11 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. And it was a good night. I wasn't really rushed at any point in time, but it was steady. And I had some good long fares. And so it added up to a grand total of about $400. Which is what I got now. My expenses will be about $105, so I'd say that I've done well tonight. I have certain goals that I want to meet by the end of the week because I want to pay something off. And it looks like I'm going to make it, based on what I've got tonight or this morning and how much I need to go. Great. There was one guy who was particularly loopy. He called from a supermarket at just after 3 in the morning. The supermarket is closed. He's standing there wearing long baggy shorts, a baggy sweat jacket, I guess you could call it, and I think he had flip-flops on, something like that. Said he'd walked a long way and he wants to go to the store on the way to downtown where he can pick up some vape. Okay, well, we got to the first store. The first store was closed, but fortunately there was another store just around the corner from it, and he had quite a bit of cash on him. He bought his vape and we went downtown. He was gonna go score some drugs. He went to one guy and I guess scored some drugs, and he was going to see someone else to score some more drugs. And meanwhile, every time he would try and score some drugs, he'd get out of the car, and you go to a homeless shelter where all these bums are hanging out. And, they're selling drugs and things like that. So, the guy comes back after going to a second stop, and he's starting to freak out that he can't find his vape that he bought at the other store. And then he's freaking out, "Where's my money? Where's my money? I had it here. I just had it here. Where's my money?" And he's looking under the seat and everything, and it turned out to be in his pocket. Then we got maybe about 1/3 of the way back to where he wanted to go back to, which was home. And he said, "Oh, we gotta go back, I forgot something." He thought that he had lost a couple of $100 bills, and I said, if you lost a couple $100 bills, they've been picked up by now, and I don't think anyone's going to own up to it, especially when you're hanging around drug dealers and bums and vagrants and homeless people, and it was just not a nice scene. Well, needless to say, we went back, and he didn't find any money. He didn't find anything. He even had some guys helping him look for it, which was quite comical. Then he wanted to go to McDonald's, but McDonald's drive-thru was closed, and at the checkout at the McDonald's window, they only took tap. They wouldn't take cash. And I said, well, my cards don't have tap. And they say, well, if you trust me to put the number in, because I have to go to the machine on the other side of this counter. I said, well, can't you just let me in? Because they wouldn't take cash. The guy would pay me cash to get him McDonald's, which would be on my card, which is just awkward to begin with. And they wanted me to give her my card so she could go in and use the numbers for his burgers, and then he would pay me the cash for it. And I don't like that arrangement anyway. So we ended up leaving there, and we ended up going back to his place. On the way there was another McDonald's. We stopped there, but they were closed for the next 20 minutes because they were switching over their grill or some silly thing like that. So the guy didn't get McDonald's. I said, well, we could stop at the Circle K near your place. And he said, no, well, that's not the point. The point is that I've been craving McDonald's. Anyway, I got him back home, and he had to go in the house to get me some money to pay because he had spent all the money he had with him on drugs, which makes you wonder how he was going to pay for the McDonald's. But he went inside and got me a $100 bill, and it was 64 something on the clock, and he says, give me the change from 70. Okay, fine. So here's a 20 and a 10. Thanks for the 100. And away we go. And that was the most twisted one of the night, I suppose. No, nobody was more twisted than him. Yeah, I think I can just go home now. Yeah, I'm gonna go home. They're trying to give me a trip. Pre-booking for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is the end of my shift. I'm going home. I'm gonna make a little stop at the bank. I'm gonna fuel up. I'm gonna go home. That's it. Let somebody else worry about it for the next 12 hours. I'll be back tonight to do it all again. I just cleared in the town called Souk. Now Souk is about a 40-minute drive from Victoria. It's about a $70 cab ride. Cleared out here, so it was like 72 on the meter. Guy gives me $90. I received the call at 5, just around 5, and now, like I said, it's 5:40. I have $514 on for tonight, and 85 of that is my lease, and the fuel will maybe be about $25, $30 at the most. And the sun is right in my face. Hopefully, well, I'll get into the hills, and when I'm in the hills, there won't be any sun in my face. What a busy night, though. I didn't stop for long at all. I just kept going and kept going and kept going all night. I think I did have a break for about an hour at one point, and I almost went to sleep. Well, I sort of went to sleep, and the sun is right in my face. Yeah. So yeah, it's been profitable, but I'm tired. and I wasn't planning on washing the car this morning because the owner is away for the week, and I have to get to the chiropractor's in about an hour and 20 minutes. It should take me about 45 minutes to drive back into town. So yeah, I might drive directly to the chiropractor's instead of walking it. We'll see how it goes. But wow, I was not expecting a Monday like that. I was just not expecting it. I had some longer fares, and I also had my my very generous customer who gave me, for a $22 fare, he gave me 80 bucks. Some people, they make me wonder. And I told him that, we're starting to get busier now as no more drivers and cabs are coming on the road, and we're swamped at times. And he says, should I start driving cab? I say, that's up to you. Entirely up to you, I said. Yeah, I was right. You get into the hills, the sun is not in your eyes. Yeah. Well, I'm really tired now, and I'll come back tomorrow. It's now 6:11 on a Wednesday morning. I just got through a relatively crazy night. I came out here at 6:45. Yeah, 6:45. I waited an hour for my first trip. I did that first trip. I went back to the parking lot and watched some more video and fell asleep. Just as I was dozing off comfortably, I got another call. The time was just before 9. And then at around 9, I got another trip. And after I cleared that trip, there was another trip immediately. And another trip immediately. And another trip immediately. And it was one trip after another immediately for the rest of the night until 2 o'clock. So I went steady, one after another, 4 or 5 trips an hour between 9 and 2. At around 2, it died down again. There was nothing for 2 hours. Then at 4, I started getting busy again. Right now, I've got about 350 on. Which, things are starting to pick up. I actually picked up some customers at a theater. I actually took a few people, not many, a couple of carloads downtown, so they could go to a restaurant or a bar or a pub or something. It's slowly waking up again. The whole thing is slowly waking up again. But we don't have enough cabs to cover the city when it gets a little busy now. It's still all or nothing. It's too much or not enough. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Come, get around that corner, you bitch. Go. Oh, fuck, it's a red light. Make me get a red light. Thank you very much. Take your time and hesitate. Here we go. These people, they hesitate. Don't take the right of way when they have it, and make it so I have to hit the red light because they wasted the time that they had to get through the intersection. Yeah, so I was either working my tail off or sleeping. And that's the way things are going, and it's going to go more like that. We just don't have the cars right now to cover the town because of all those guys who quit in March of 2020. But if those guys would have all been on, we all would have started. So I'm kind of thankful that they didn't work, but we need them to come back now. As things open up, as people get vaccinated, we need people to come back to work. Yeah. So right now I'm heading towards the car wash where I'm going to wash the car. Then I'm going to go to the bank and deposit some money. Then I'm going to fuel up, then I'm going to go home. That is my plan. Yeah, I am tired. I worked hard for it. Not much else to say, but the sun is bright. Two more nights to go. It's now Thursday morning. The time is 5:48. I've got 317, I think, on, which is just fine. It was a little more relaxed than the last 3 nights in a row before that. But the Wednesday night still had me rushing a couple times. It had me sleeping a bit, and it had me watching quite a few videos, which is more my style than just rushing and working and rushing and working and driving and driving and driving and not stopping. It was better. However, the class of clientele that I got tonight, they were about the worst you can imagine. Junkies, other kinds of drug addicts, homeless, people who are in homeless shelters, and you kind of wonder about these people. I don't understand how people can live the way they do. And act the way they do. It's a mystery. I know I couldn't live that way and act that way. It's the end of my shift. I will not accept another trip. Apparently, I accepted trips adding up to $250, but in reality I did about $320 because of tips and things. And I rejected 9 trips for a total of $110. They're trying to send me across to Esquimalt. Decline. Back. Busy. Log out. And I'm logged out. I'm just going to wash the car and I'm going to go home. Nobody is driving it after me in the morning because the owner has gone to Vancouver for the week. So I washed it yesterday and I detailed the interior yesterday morning, that is. And I will do so again the next time I park it. Tomorrow, that is. And that will be the end of my week. Hopefully tomorrow night will be another night with a similar place to this one, but with a better class of clientele. Some nights you just get all the losers, and that's what I got this time. People who have trouble speaking. Yeah. One more night to go. The time is now 5:56 a.m. The day is Friday. Friday the 25th of of June 2021. It was the night of the full moon. I woke up and somehow the lighting in the room was wrong. Then I realized it was an hour later than I usually wake up, and that I must have slept through my alarm, or got up out of bed, shut the alarm off, and gone back to bed. Both are possibilities. Okay, well then I got ready and I figured, well, you know, if I'm an hour and a half late, it's no big deal. It's a 12-hour shift anyway. When I got to work, I hit the on-off switch on the dashboard and nothing came to life. The car was electrically dead. I had to walk back home, get my private car, and go to the taxi and jump it with my private car. You see, the morning before was sunny, bright and sunny. And so, I did not notice that the top light had been left on. I didn't shut the top light off, so it drained the battery. Yippee. Well, I didn't lose too much time. I was maybe 15 minutes later, I got started. I got my first call after about an hour. I had my second call around 9 o'clock. So yeah, I started just after 8. And, well, I think my first call was around 9. The second call was around 10. By 10 o'clock, I think I had 2 fares under my belt. I think I had like 20 bucks on. Well, between 10 o'clock and 2:30, I made $200. So in 4 hours, I made $200. 4.5 hours. Then at 2:30, I was exhausted because I was one right after another, right after another. It was busy, busy, busy. Should I do this call? Should I do this call? Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Anyhow, I started watching a video at 2:30 in a parking lot. At 4:30, I got awakened by a noise. It was this thing here making a noise to wake me up and tell me that I'm about to be timed out. I waited half an hour for my next call, which was a regular customer, but she never came out, or she was gone already, or something. That was unexpected. So I crept back to my spot and I waited again until about 5:37. It was a hotel just across the street. I got there, and when I got towards the lobby, somebody was honking at me to move out of the way. So I did. Then I saw a guy with a trolley coming out the door, full of luggage. He went right past me and went to pulled a truck out of a parking lot, loaded the truck and drove away. I sat there for a few minutes and then I phoned the customer. Then the customer came out running. Didn't answer the phone, but came out running and went from one end of town to the That made it so that I had $240 on. Grand total of $240 right now. And now I was gonna head towards the car wash. Let me hold that there. We're on a hill, you see. And now I was heading back across town towards the car wash, and I got another call. So I'm gonna do that other call. Might as well, since I missed the first 2 hours of my shift. Maybe I'll make up for it a little bit now. After this trip, I'm gonna go wash the car. Hope yours is better than mine was, because that was a kind of a fustercluck of a night.